I can't stop thinking about weapons. The more I try to make sense of it, the more questions I have, and it's seriously messing with my head. Who exactly is Gladys? Where did she come from? And what secrets is she hiding in her past? If she's a relative, why did she feed on the family? Is she really telling the truth about her identity? Or she's a total faker? The truth about her is more twisted than you might think. What does Gladys actually want from the kids? What was the meaning of the rifle in the sky during Archer's dream sequence? And why do the kids, or anyone under Gladys' control, run like that? Almost like airplanes taking off. Let's break it all down. Theories, symbols, secrets, and the mystery behind weapons. Hi, my name is Michael. If you like movies and love talking about what they really mean, hit like and subscribe. I've got more coming your way. One quiet night at exactly 2:17 a.m. in a small town called Maybrook, 17 kids from the same class all got up and walked out of their homes and vanished. The next morning, their teacher, Miss Justine Gandy, arrived at school to find only one student left, Alex Lilly. The police were baffled. They questioned Justine and Alex, but found nothing. That's when the real nightmare began. Justine couldn't shake the feeling that something was seriously wrong. She started having strange dreams about the missing children and a creepy woman with a clown-like face. At the same time, Archer, one of the missing kids' dad, was having the same dream. Then things got even worse. The school principal went wild and attacked Justine at a gas station, covered in blood, like he wasn't himself. Something or someone was controlling people, and all signs started pointing back to Alex's house. As the mystery deepened, a name came up. Gladys. She said she was Alex's great aunt, but she was no ordinary old lady. In flashbacks, we learned that Gladys was sick and was somehow using dark magic to take over Alex's family. She made his parents go into a trance, forced them to hurt themselves, and told Alex to help her bring his classmates to the house using their personal things. That's how the children vanished, summoned by Gladys through a spell at exactly 2:17 a.m. When Justine and Archer finally reach the house, it turns into a full-blown horror show. Paul and James, both under Gladys' spell, attack them. But Alex sneaks past the salt line protecting Gladys' room and grabs one of her magical sticks made with the kid's hair. As Archer is about to kill Justine while possessed, Alex breaks the stick and suddenly Gladys loses control. The children, now free, chase her down and destroy her in one of the wildest scenes in the movie. But who exactly is Gladys? Was she really a relative? Or she's a total faker? In Alex's part of Weapons, we're told that Gladys is his great aunt, meaning she's supposedly the sister of Alex's grandmother on his mom's side. Sounds simple, right? But something feels off from the very beginning. Alex overhears his parents talking privately about her. They seemed confused. They say they might have met her once, a long time ago, but they're sure she was not at their wedding. No family stories, no pictures, just vague memories. And even though Alex's mom insists Gladys is family, it doesn't sound like she actually knows. It's more like she's trying to convince herself. So the big question is, who is Gladys, really? At first, maybe she is some distant relative who got lost in the family tree. But then, we start to notice strange little clues. Clues that hint she might be way older than anyone thinks. Here's the big one. Gladys talks to Marcus, the principal, and casually says that Alex's dad has a touch of consumption. Now the word consumption might not seem weird at first. It sounds like an old-timey way of saying someone's sick. But here's the thing. Consumption was the name for tuberculosis, a dangerous lung disease. Doctors stopped calling it that way about 100 years ago. You can only hear the word today in old novels or movies set in the 1800s. So why would Gladys use it now? Marcus does not get it. He ends up asking it again. Most people wouldn't, but that word ends up meaning a lot, more than we realize. Because later, we learn the truth. Gladys is feeding off Alex's parents. She's slowly draining their energy, making herself stronger. So when she says consumption, she's not just using an outdated word. She's making a creepy joke. She's literally consuming them. Even creepier, she tells Alex that she's been sick for a very long time. Put those things together, her old-fashioned language, and how long she's been sick. And it starts to sound like she's not just an elderly woman. She might be unnaturally old, maybe even from completely different generation, or several. It's possible that Gladys was once part of the family. But if that is true, she somehow stayed alive way longer than any normal human being. Or maybe she's not related to them at all. Think about it. Alex's parents have no solid proof she's a family, no photos, no shared memories, just guesses. That's a huge red flag. And it gets worse. Once she's drained the parents, she turns her focus to the kids. That shows this is not a one-time event. It's part of a pattern, a cycle she's been repeating before. Everything starts to point to the same chilling conclusion. Gladys is not just a strange old relative. She might not be human at all. Maybe she's a parasite. Maybe she's something supernatural, a witch, a shapeshifter, or some ancient creature that survives by pretending to be someone's long-lost aunt. She finds a family, slips into their lives, earns their trust, and then feeds off them until their last breath. Whatever she is, one thing is clear. Gladys is not what she pretends to be. What do you think? Is she a family member or a faker? What's the deal with the rifle in the sky? In one of the movie Weapon's most unforgettable scenes, Archer, played by Josh Brolin, sees a giant assault rifle floating in the sky during a dream. It's marked with 2:17 a.m., the exact time his son vanished. It's a strange image, but not random. It's a clue. The film isn't just about physical weapon, but about something much darker, how people themselves can be turned into weapons. Gladys, the mysterious old woman at the center of the story, is behind the disappearances. She uses dark magic to lure kids from their homes at 2:17 a.m., storing them in the basement to drain their life force. But her power doesn't stop with the children. She also controls adults, the parents, a police officer, and even the school's principal, turning them into mindless tools to do her bidding. The most chilling moment is when Gladys fully takes over the principal, Marcus, forcing him to kill with his own body. No gun needed. That's the true meaning behind the floating gun in Archer's dream. It's not about weapons we carry, but the terrifying idea that people themselves can become weapons. Why do they run like that? So why do the kids in the weapons or someone under Gladys's control run like airplanes? It's one of the most haunting and unforgettable visuals in the movie. Children running into total silence, arms stretched like wings, faces blank, empty eyes. At first, it might seem strange, even childish. But look closer. The strange way of running, arms stiff like wings, feet pounding forward without hesitation, it's no accident. It's a warning. This run tells us they're no longer fully human. Gladys' spell has stripped away what made them individuals. No more emotions, no hesitations, no free will. They move like drones, like living machines following a flight plan. Just like airplanes, they are not choosing where to go. They are being guided, sent out, deployed. And that's where the title Weapons takes on its deeper meaning. Gladys is not just taking these kids. She's turning them into something else, into tools, into weapons. She uses their stolen belongings to pull them from their beds at exactly 2:17 a.m. And once they're under her spell, their bodies become vehicles for her dark purposes. That airplane run is a visual metaphor. It's like watching missiles being launched, innocents turned into destruction. These victims are not themselves anymore. They're weapons on a mission, and they don't even know about it. The same thing happens to the adults she controls. The police officer, the principal, even Alex's parents. Once she takes over, they lose themselves just like the kids. Gladys does not need guns. She turns people into weapons. So yeah, weapons really surprised me. It started off feeling like a simple story, something we've kinda seen before, but the way it was told, that's what hooked me. The slow reveal, the tension, the weirdness, it all builds up in such an hypnotic way. Even characters I did not expect to care about really grew on me. Plus, it sneaks into some dark comedy that totally caught me off guard. There were a lot of scenes that I was laughing my ass off, and I've gotta give it to Julia Garner. She stole the show. Her facial expressions is magnetic. And of course, Josh Brolin delivered like he always does. Strong, grounded, and unforgettable. Before I end this video, there is one question that I can't really answer. Why was Gladys suddenly in the woods? The cops chasing James, everything's chaotic, and then boom, Gladys is just standing there between the trees like she popped out of nowhere. Did she just teleport? Or does she have powers? Pennywise style? If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching and see you in my next video.